This is an exclusive House of Ramirez interview.
Hey guys, this is H.O.R. You already know we out here and we talking to young successful entrepreneurs to see what they got going on, and I only talk with the best. So, if I'm talking to you, you're doing something right. With me today, I have Mr. John. Mr. John, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself and let me know and let the readers know and also our audience know, where are you from? Who are you?
So my name is Mr. John. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. Born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. My mom is from a small town called Greentown Road. Really, it's called Greentown Road. But it's called Waynes, Virginia. My dad is from Richmond. So all my family's from Virginia, and that's where I'm from.
Nice. I love that. The fact that, you're rich in culture, that's important. A lot of people, they're like, well, I was born here, but I don't know much of it. You're from Virginia and you represent well, and you have a close-knit family from Virginia, and that's beautiful. So I want to go ahead and ask you also, what are some of the things that you're doing right now, John? I do understand you got a lot going on right now. So what are some of the things that you're doing?
So right now, in December of last year, I published my first book. It's called The Adventures of Joshua and Pip. And then later on earlier this year, I published my second book, which is called The Adventures of Joshua and Pip, Calvin the Catfish. I have a third one that is finished, but it has not been illustrated yet. And I have another book that is being illustrated right now that I'm excited about. And hopefully that one will be out by Christmas. But basically just being an author and self-publishing my books, I wanted to make sure that my children, my sons and other children of people of color get to see themselves on a book as as the lead characters, and it not be like a historical book, but it just be just a regular book, a book about having fun, or about flying a cardboard box or going fishing. Just kids doing regular kid stuff, but they be Black kids, and so I wanted to make sure that my sons had that. I was looking for that when they were young, and I really couldn't find it, and so that's why I'm creating the books that I create now.
I love that, John. As a mother with three boys that are half Latino, half African American, it's very important that they not only celebrate their Afro-Latino-ness, but also see representation in what they do and what they see, and also listen to. So I want to thank you for that. That's big. As parents, we need that for our children. It's very important. So tell me something. Something else that you have been doing? What have you been doing?
Well, I'm a librarian, first and foremost. So every day I work in the youth services department at my library, where we do programming for the community, for the children in our community. Right now, mostly what we're doing is story times. We'll do some craft programs that they can come to the library and pick up and take them home. It's been a challenge ever since COVID hit, because it hit like right around when we were last year, when we were getting ready for reading. It's a big thing for the libraries. We usually bring in lots of programmers, lots of performers, and we had to change all of that, at the drop of a hat. We had to go fully virtual, and we did it, and we were pretty successful with it. But before then, we had not been doing anything virtual, so that was a big change. So just being a librarian, serving our patrons. We just opened the library back up so that people can come in all day long. But beside that, I'm a genealogist as well. I was able to get more into genealogy because I was at the library, because you can use the library's resources for free to fill out your family, and so that's what I did. And now I have over 1,000 names on my family tree right now, and I enjoyed looking up information for other people and helping other people find their ancestors as well. Matter of fact, I helped someone last month, earlier this month or last month, find their ancestors, and most of them were in Zacatecas, I believe, Mexico. So a lot of her ancestors were in Mexico, and and I found all this information from resources that we have at the library. So I love doing genealogy. Also, I'm a storyteller. Haven't been able to do as much storytelling as I wanted to because of COVID, but I'm trying to figure out some ways to be able to do that. And so, yeah, I mean, I got a lot of stuff going on. I really try to stay in my wheelhouse, if you will, stay with the things that I love to do. And I love a lot of stuff. So I just try to hang around those interests.
Mm-hmm. I have been noticing, I've been following you for quite a minute now, and I'm just eager to actually have this sit down with you. I want to thank you for being so patient with me, and also setting the time aside. I understand you have a beautiful family, and it's taking from them to sit down and talk to me, but I think that more and more of us need to tune in to what it is that you do, for a lot of young successful entrepreneurs that are coming into the librarian scene, it's something new to them too, and it's a beautiful thing, just like it is for you, to help others find their families, and be able to be in a position where this is a good thing, this is a good proper representation. Anybody can be a librarian if you put your mind to it, if that's really what you want to do. um and the fact that you have a lot going on, and you say you try to stay in that lane of what you like to do, I think that that's very important. You're staying focused in the things that matter to you the most. A lot of us, when we're young and we're navigating through life, we like to do this, we like to do that, we like to go here, and we split ourselves 3-4 different ways, but we don't stick to that one thing until we find it,
Mm,
and that's when we stick to it. And you're doing a phenomenal job, just being a great role model for all of us, and also
thank you.
helping us. We need you, we need more Mr. Johns out here, and I think that you're a very great role model, a pillar in the community. It's very evident to see, and yeah, thanks for that. I think it's very important that
Thank you.
everyone understands that once you find what you're good at and what you love and you have a passion for, you stick to that and you stay close to what you enjoy doing, and you're only going to excel. There's only good things going
That's
to
right.
come from that. So thank you for that.
That's right.
Thank you. Yeah, so how'd you venture into the field of being a librarian?
Actually, I went to Old Dominion University for my undergraduate education, and part of my financial aid was a work study program, and they put me in the library there, and so I was working in the serials department at the library at school, which is basically like the magazines and newspapers and things of that nature. And so I did that for 2 years.
Mhm.
When I graduated um, from school and needed a real job, um, one of the things that came to my mind was, oh, the library. Like,
Mhm.
you worked at the library for 2 years, so I was like,
Mhm.
okay, well, I'm gonna try the library, and I got the position. That was when at that time I was in Virginia Beach, so I started working at Virginia Beach Central Library at the circulation desk, which is where check your books out, return your books, things like that. And I worked there for 7 years in Virginia Beach. Um, but for some reason, I didn't really see myself as being a librarian professional. Like, I didn't see like that was going to be a future. I don't know. I really didn't see like that was going to be a future. And so I went off and, into the world to discover this future, because for this idea, like I just want a desk, I just want a job, I just want a desk job in the office, and like what I'm saying, like okay. And so eventually I got those jobs. I ended up working for Geico,
Oh,
and I
nice.
had the desk job in an office in a great company. And
Mhm.
one day I was just thinking about it. I was like, man, I don't want this anymore. Like, I don't want this. I don't want to do this anymore. It was like Tina Turner. It was like, I don't want it. I don't want you. I don't want you no
Mhm.
more. So
Mhm.
but as soon as I realized that and I went to a library to like, check out some books. And like that was like the first time I had really been back in the library in a long time. And like as soon as I walked through the door, it was like this feeling came over me, like this is where you're supposed to be. Like, where have you been? What are you doing? And I was like, oh man. And so it's like from that time on, I just started looking. And it wasn't too long that I started looking for positions at the library that I found the position that I'm in. I applied for it. And I mean, I probably had the position in like 2 or 3 months. And so that was 5 years ago. And so I've been in this position for 5 years, and I've just been loving every minute of it. I mean, it's crazy when, like, just to think, like at one point I was like dreading going to work, and now it's like, oh, like if I'm off for too many days, I'll be like, oh, I need to go to work. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, not many people like hope to go to work.
Yeah. And that's very true. When you love to do what you're doing, there's never a day where you're dragging your feet into work. You don't see it as work. You see it as something that you enjoy doing, almost like a hobby. That's why it's very important that you find out what you're good at and what you're passionate about.
Yep.
So you don't feel that feeling, because, coming from someone that also has come from corporate America, there's great jobs and great corporations out there, but there's nothing worth you being miserable every day walking into work. Besides the benefits, besides the great company, if your body and your mind is not there, like if you're not fully there, wholesomely you, then it's time to step back and see what you're really good at, so you can go ahead and do what you're really passionate about, so you no longer feel that way. So I think that that's very key, and I could definitely see that you're very passionate about what you do, and it's encouraging. It's very encouraging for everybody out there. What are a few pieces of advice that you would give our youth that are actually aspiring to do what you're doing?
This is advice I would really give to anybody that's searching. The first thing you need to do is to know yourself, know who you are, find out who you are. Um, do that as early as possible, because once you find out who you are, figure out who you are, figure out your interests, figure out your skills, then you can start guiding yourself towards those skills and figure out ways in order to do those things and make those things make a living doing those things. I So I was 5 years. I was working at the library, and during that time, I was doing the genealogy, and I was doing the DNA testing, and just and researching cultures and doing all of that stuff, and just with all of that and reading books, I was able to come to a place where I was able to, like I don't know if you watch Lovecraft Country. I don't know if you watch that show, but there's an
No.
episode. Oh man, but there's an episode where the mom, the mom, she is like transported to like some space place, but the person tells her to name yourself, and she was like, "What are
Mm,
you talking about?" And she was like, "Name yourself." And so
mm,
she started naming herself all of these things. She started naming herself a dancer with um, a dancer. She named herself a dancer. She named herself an explorer. She named
mm,
herself a warrior. And so once she was able to like really come into contact with who she is, um, then she was able to really be the person that she was meant to be all along. And so the same way that she did that, as I was learning different cultures and just learning about my family history that I didn't, the stuff that I didn't know, like jobs that they did, the places they lived, I was able to, understand who I was. And once I understood that, like I knew, like, okay, this is who I am. Like, you're a storyteller. Like, and a lot
mhm,
of people say that you don't necessarily want to define yourself as an occupation, but I mean, it's you. It's yours. You get to name yourself whatever you want to name yourself. And so
mhm,
for me, I'm a storyteller. I'm a librarian. I'm a genealogist. And so when I'm in those spaces, I
mm,
am, I'm operating where I'm supposed to operate.
In your best
And so
element.
that's, so for me, yeah, that's right. And so, I mean, for me, that's the best thing that you can do is hurry, hurry up and start trying to figure out what is it that, who am I? Who am I? Start answering those questions, being able to like just sit down and write a statement, just put like a bunch of I ams on a paper and I am this, I am that, and just list as many as it is, because everybody's different. Like we're all different. We all come from different places, different families. Our families all come from different situations, so we all have our own individual skills. And once you recognize that, you can move and really be successful in whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah, and that's true. And that, like you mentioned, it goes for anyone really. As long as you find out who you are and what you were placed on this earth to do, when you find out your niche, your calling, everything else falls into place,
Yep.
and it's not an easy road, but like you mentioned, the sooner you find out, the better it is, because then you're waking up every morning eager to pursue that calling that you have upon you. And it's a beautiful thing, and absolutely we can't do it on our own. It takes a lot of work from, a lot of people that pour into us. And that just it pushes me to ask you, like, have you had any mentors? Do you have any inspirations along your journey?
I think as far as a mentor for that journey, I would say James Baldwin. I read the book for the movie that they made for him, and then I read the Fire and Oath by James Baldwin, and just reading and how he thought, and it was like similar ways that he was thinking, and similar ways of looking at yourself, and being able to know who you are, so that you can tell other people, like, no, I'm not what you're calling. So the movie that they made about him was I'm not your Negro, but he had to know who he was in order to be able to tell someone that who he is not. And so just that whole portion of finding yourself, James Baldwin was a big contributor to that. But then as far as like if my interest, you got LeVar Burton, you got Mr. Rogers. As far as a storyteller goes, it's this lady named Jan Blake. She's an English storyteller based in Manchester, England. And I looked up her video. I wasn't looking for her initially. I was just looking for videos of storytellers. And I came across this storyteller and I listened to her. Oh man, she's so great and so captivating. And so I started to remember the stories in my head. And I was like, man, I think I can tell this story. And since I had a captive audience already, because I was working at the library doing story time with the kids, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it on the kids, because the kids will let you know if it's working or not.
Right.
And so I did it with the kids, and the kids loved it. And so once I did that, I had that confidence to know that I could do it. And so then, I just started. I contacted her a lot until she told me that she couldn't give me any more advice, because she like the advice she was giving me was like she get paid to do that in England. But I was like on Facebook like, hey, what about this and what about that? She was like, oh, do this and this. She was like, all right. She was like, you're gonna have to start sending me some money. Like, okay. Like, I'm sorry. But no, it wasn't like that. I mean, I understood, because I looked at
definitely.
her website. Yeah, I looked at her website, and she really gave me a lot of information for free. And so I always shout her out. And anytime I'm going on a storytelling gig, I always tell everybody about her, because I really appreciate her storytelling method, and the counseling and the advice that she gave me to help me to be a storyteller. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that had something to do with what I'm doing right now.
Well, you're very passionate about it, and the children love it. Us grown-ups, we love it too. The children are engaged. And even when it comes to us grown folk, you know, when we need assistance with genealogy, you're able to help us, and that brings us closer to home. And that's always important, you know. Family's everything. No matter what circumstances you may have, it's very important to know where you come from so you know where you're going.
That's right. And I have
Mhm.
stories for adults too. So
And yeah, don't
I
get it
have
twisted
stories for
now.
everybody.
Story for days.
That's right. That's right.
I love it. I love it. John, is there a website where we can find you? Do you have any social media? Where can we go?
Yeah. Yeah. My website is www.theylivedhappily.com. So like they live happily ever after. It's theylivedhappily.com. On Facebook, it is They Lived Happily Ever After LLC. And on Instagram, it's Mr. John underscore TLHEA for They Live Happily Ever After. Is that all of them? Yeah, I think that's all of them.
Okay. Okay. And you know, with everything going on with Rona, it's very important that we all come together, we stick together. So I do something at the end of all my interviews. Are there any shout outs you like to make? So we could go ahead and get everybody connected, everybody tuned in.
Yeah, hold on. Where my paper at? Hold on, hold on.
Oh,
So, no. So like when I started,
you gotta hold the
the
Grammys. You gotta hold the Grammy.
hold on, I got Dr.
Hold
Doom
your book.
here.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. There you
I like
go.
to thank you. I like to thank you know what I'm saying? It's Dr. Doom, we taking over the world. Anyway, but when I self-published my book, I got on Instagram. I tried to do a whole lot of like Instagram, social media marketing, and I did a lot of research, a lot of hashtag, like finding out different things, like trying different hashtags. And as I was following hashtags, I found a whole lot of people, and it's almost like now I have a community, especially on Instagram, of us that are like self-publishers, and we push each other. And if somebody's doing something, we make sure we try to share it and spread it on our channels. And a lot of people from Instagram have been very supportive of what I've done, and of the adventures of Joshua and Pip. So I'd like to shout out Cheryl Smiley Oliphant. She's on Instagram as well. She has a book called My Daddy Doesn't Need a Cape. Mr. Billy, he's also another librarian, another Black librarian. He's in Florida. And he has a lot of story times that are on YouTube that you can search. So Mr. Billy, his company is called Three King Vision. So check him out. Crown Shepherd, she has a book called Black Boy, What Do You See? She's up in Minnesota, and so she sells books on her own, but she also has her own books, which are doing pretty well. Peter LaMotta, Mr. LaMotta, Story Time with Mr. LaMotta is out in California, and he actually read both of my books this week. The newest one, and he had a friend read the Spanish version of my book. So I mean, these are just people, just meeting them on Instagram and saying, just starting to follow them and just engaging with their posts, and just making friends, making connections with people. I can't read all these. I got a whole bunch of names. But Johnny Trinidad, he's another guy in California that he interviewed me before, and he does like he'll interview children's book authors, things like that. So I mean, I had a whole lot of people. I'll just shout out my whole Instagram crew. There's a whole lot of names. I got like a whole page of like names I could write down that I have written down. Oh, but the Black Librarians page on Instagram. They really like put me in positions to, be in front of people. Shannon Bland is the one who runs that. And that's just, having a nice collection of people together that can help people to, just know that, they're Black librarians, and to know that you're not alone. So yeah, I got it's a whole lot of people on Instagram in particular. Of course, my family and friends, in Richmond and in Lancaster, Virginia, all over the world, really. Friends that I met. I met a friend who was the one that translated my book into Spanish. She's from the Dominican Republic, but right now she's in Germany. So,
wow.
but yeah, so just a lot. Yeah, hold on, because it's spelled Carolina, but Catalina.
Oh, nice.
Catalina.
Yeah, there's a difference
That's her
now.
name.
There's a difference now.
Yeah. I was like, is it
Yeah.
Carolina? Like, no, Catalina.
Catalina.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
nice.
So, I mean, there's a lot of people that have helped me. I would say to people, especially on social media, just like, and just like House of Ramirez, just engage
Oh,
with people. Like,
oh, well,
meet
thank
people,
you.
engage. Yeah. And, engage with people, authentic, be yourself. And like a lot of people on social media in particular are looking to help others, because if you help them, they'll help you. And it's like real, it's truly real love on social media. Sometimes the type of people you deal with, depending on who you are, but be authentic, be yourself, and interact with people, and you'll make a lot of connections.
Straight up. Absolutely, I agree. And it's amazing, and it's a beautiful thing that you have a community. What would I say? It's essential. It's essential to have your own tribe, to have your own group, to have your own corner backing you up in what you're doing, because they're also doing it. You surround yourself with like-minded individuals and you excel. So yeah, I want to thank you for taking time to actually sit down with me again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's an honor. And when you come out with your new book, you go ahead and hit me up, and we'll bring you back onto the show so we can go ahead and talk about that too. Okay?
Will do. Thank you for having me.
All right, sounds great, John. Until then, take care.
All right, take it easy.
Make sure to follow House of Ramirez on all social media platforms.